show. Hold on one second. Let me get up and running. Let's go. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. How are you? Good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Welcome to HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, the thumbs up, the follow, the whatever you can do to help support the show and its existence. And don't forget that if you're a troll, you can help too. Don't think for a second. Oh, I've got my wires on me. Don't think for a second that you can't support the show. First of all, you do by being here, and it's not lost on us. We know, we appreciate it. You can leave a comment as long as you don't use any, racial epithets or anti-gay or misogynistic language. I know it's difficult. It's a lot of work, and you're not paid. Is it hazard pay at the troll farm if you can't use, belligerent, violent language? Or do you get docked a day's pay for not doing it? It's very confusing. I would love to see what your hiring contract was like. Oh, it's an echo? Is there an echo? Why would there be an echo? I don't know. Am I echoing? Echo. I shouldn't. Have an echo. It might just be that the room is, just loud enough. Hold on. But anyways, yeah, do they get a gold star at the troll farm? I don't know. I'd love to find out. Where is the Vice documentary on the troll farms? I feel bad. I mean, I've worked in some pretty shitty places in my pre-fame life. I remember, troll farms seem to me like call centers mixed with like being a low-end fetish phone sex operator meets sort of a, I don't know, like in 1984 or any of the or like Brazil or the bureaucratic scenes in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where you're just kind of like just stamping stuff. Okay, today I use a lot of I pretend to be Black Lives Matter, complain about Jews, stamp. I pretend to be Jew, complain about Ukrainian Nazis, stamp. I pretend to be a woman from Ohio, just for fun, really. Just me doing what I do. You only troll for Soros checks? I'm still waiting for mine. It's either I've got to get something from the Bill Gates Great Reset, shouldn't I? All right. Yesterday afterwards, I don't know if I was poisoned or what, but literally when we finished that stupid Trump rally, I was knocked out. I was getting so bored at the end, I went into a coma. I didn't even last through dinner. I had like two little bites, and then I lay down on the couch and I was gone. I had a bunch of stuff to do. It was like I'd been hit with an elephant dart. And I'm supposed to believe people are going to vote for that guy. I get them. All right. The only upside to Trump running again, or the illusion that he's going to be running again, because come on. The only upside to that is that apparently DeSantis is taking his political life in his hands just by pretending that he can run. Hold on. That little corner over there. Oh, my. Hey, Siri, stream. Hey, my side lights weren't on. I'm sorry. I was at the camera store with Ethan, and we were looking. He needs to get a lens that can deal with outdoor sports photography. That's what he's doing right now. So we had to look at what they had, see what the trade-in possibilities would be, see if he got a lens filter and some other stuff. But we really got to shop around a little more for the lens that he wants. We need a 50 millimeter, and it's got to be, I'm saying 1.4 to 1.8 would be great as far as, yeah. But so we were looking at a couple of things. They were out of the really good one. Yeah, JP Mandel 2045. That's right. Yes, apparently Howie's cousin is running against him. All right. Before I get into today's videos, I would like to bring to your attention let's see, potentially, I don't know. I'll look up in the videos thing. Hold on one second. a little channel that's decided, how long they got, they've got 768,000 subscribers. And almost 80 of them speak English. This is Redacted. Remember when I was mentioning that after Lee Camp's Redacted Tonight went off the air because RT packed up and went home because as free as you could be, Chris Hedges, as free as you could be on RT, you couldn't criticize Russia. And rather than fire individuals and let it be known that you weren't allowed to, they just shut the whole fucking thing down and split. So Redacted Tonight went away. And these folks, I don't know how long. Let's see. Let's find out about them. 2015, they've been doing this. 99 million views. Former Fox News anchor Clayton and his wife take a in-depth look at the legal, social, financial, and personal issues that matter to you. They want to set the record straight and bring you the stories nobody else is telling. When the fuck was this dude? Why was he fired from Fox? Anyways, this dude and his wife are just doing straight up Moscow propaganda. Everything. Look at this. Every picture of Zelensky practically has the Azov battalion in it. All 9 of those fucking guys in the Azov battalion that were Nazis that were broomed in 2016. They're all, obviously still there. So I want to show you something. I think this is the clip. I mean, they're all over the place. They were talking about this on their live feed, and they're trying to hide the Nazi truth in Ukraine with the picture of the Jewish president pointing at the Azov. Right. They're so smart. And it's got all the, the right wing zingers in it. It's, Fauci's a Nazi, everything like China's putting people in COVID cages is just warning that it's going to come here next. Right. The only reason to warn you about China is to tell you that, Biden and everybody are going to turn this into. And I think, let's see if this is the video. Hold on. And they're like, get over yourself. Same thing as Redacted Tonight, almost identical. Redacted Conversations.
Redacted Conversations. I'm Clayton Morris.
Hi, Clayton.
On this show, we invite journalists, researchers, thought leaders on
who agree with us already
to discuss topics that are ignored or suppressed by the.
They're not ignored or suppressed. They've either been debunked or they don't rise to the level of importance of what everything else is.
Western media. Today, we're joined by Eva Bartlett. She is a Canadian independent journalist who spent years on the ground covering conflict zones in the Middle East, especially in Syria, Palestine, where she lived for nearly 4 years. Eva is a recipient of the 2017 International Journalism Award for International Reporting. She's been covering the war in Ukraine.
From who?
Ukraine, and today she joins us.
By the way, I want you guys to know, this is a bad time to announce it, but I've just been awarded the International Award for Political and Comedic Punditry by the Political and Comedic Punditry Board of America, USA, and forever. And my certificate's in the mail, but it'll be as soon as it gets here. Is it coming out of the mail or my printer? We'll see.
From Ukraine. Eva, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
She's not having it right now. She's already upset with us. I feel bad.
Why did you decide to go to Ukraine?
Well, to be clear, I'm actually in the Donetsk People's Republic, one of 2 autonomous republics.
So we're already recognizing, we already know she recognizes the Russian separatist regions as their own federations. This is not the only people that recognize these as autonomous federal regions or whatever are the Russians.
Formerly in eastern Ukraine.
Formerly Ukraine, now permanent Russia.
And I came back here to Donetsk because I had come here in 2019 and I had gone to areas north of Donetsk, north of a city called Gorlivka, which were on a daily basis and still continue to be on a daily and nightly basis being shelled by Ukrainian forces.
Yeah, they just shell them. They're not fighting. There's nobody fighting the other direction. There's no Russians there. There's no Russian troops. There's no Russian tanks. This wasn't part of the movement. Matter of fact, I don't even know why they said the Russians were staging their weapons outside. They just shell the place just for the fuck of it. That's what the Ukrainians do.
In violation, by the way, of the Minsk Accords of, I think it was 2015.
The Minsk Accords of 2015, the ones, the gun to the head accords.
Ukraine has been using prohibited heavy weapons and shelling residential areas, literally terrorizing the civilians living there, driving them out of those villages.
You mean the people, the Russian soldiers that have been moved in since 2014?
And not only that, but they've been, the Ukrainian forces have been bombing the cities themselves, including Donetsk, where I am now.
We had to drive this woman in 18 miles from the Russian border to stand in front of rubble and go, I used to live here.
So I came back here because this is a very much underreported issue.
Yes. Wonder why. Maybe because you have to report Russian points of view or they won't let you in the area. The very fact that you're reporting out of there. Oh, never mind. We'll see.
To my knowledge, it's not getting any reporting in mainstream.
No, it's weird.
Media at all. And if there is any reference to these republics, it's usually in a negative light.
Why is it negative that they are actually parts of Ukraine?
And totally dismissing a modest estimate is 13,000 who've been killed in Ukraine's war in the Donbas.
Yeah, you do realize this number gets tossed around. This asshole tosses, not her, but the other dude. Jimmy Dore tosses this number around. This is where Jimmy Dore gets his shit from, just so you know. Yeah, get out of their fucking country. It's an easy solve.
In the last 8 years. So I came back here to do what I can, to shed some light on this issue.
Yes, shed some light, please.
When you say that largely, if it is reported, it's negative reporting or negative coverage, what do you mean by that? What have you seen where you've just shaken your head?
Yeah, tell us. What is it?
So, for example, if the republics are referred to, they're usually called pro-Russian separatist republics.
No, they're called pro-Russian separatist areas.
And well,
they're not called republics because they're not recognized as republics.
That is true. People here
they're called an awful name, which happens to be the fact. Except, I mean, because the republic word.
Technically Russian, so hence they are pro-Russian. It does have a negative connotation in Western media and to a Western audience, where everything to do with Russia has been demonized for years and years.
Well, no, it has not. As a matter of fact, for a long time, we were busy making Russians okay in spite of their actions. Now, granted, news stories around Chechnya, Georgia, the bomb when the Chechnyan rebels, captured people in the theater, and the Russians just bombed the whole fucking place, they just gassed it. They killed everybody there. It did get some negative press.
So instead of referring to these people as formerly Ukrainians,
formerly Ukrainians. Ouch.
Sorry, formerly part of Ukraine.
See, that's the talking point sneaking out.
And instead of actually, for example, giving any context as to why they chose to be autonomous.
They didn't choose to be autonomous. They got bullied and pushed and bullied and pushed and bullied and pushed. Now, one of the things that this asshole was talking about, and I'm showing you a piece of this just so you guys know.
None of that context is given.
No, it's just they chose to do this, and they chose to drive out all the Ukrainians in the area and move people over and stuff. It's it's like, imagine if she was in Israel and said, these are these areas where Israel is taking back from the Palestinians is formerly Palestinian territory is a rude thing to say. It's really just pro-Israeli territory. Or if these were, to use a historical reference, these are Native American reservations. And we were just upset we gave them this land in the, as reservations because it turns out it's got uranium or really good farmland. So we kind of need to fuck these people off. So we're moving some of our folks in. And then eventually everybody speaks English. I mean, a lot of people that live there.
They're simply dismissed as pro-Russian separatists.
Well, you can be pro-Russian as long as you're not the separatist. It's the separatist part that really gets me.
So, you know, and it's the same, by the way, with how Western media treated Syria.
Whoa.
They either, again, don't report on issues, or they
treated Syria. How did we treat Syria?
They distort the way they report so that the Western audience is not given the information that's needed for them to fully understand what's really happening. Yeah.
Most people don't know that Putin had no choice but to bomb Aleppo and gas the people there. It was just necessary.
On the ground here.
Thank you for that. And you mentioned sleep deprived. I mean, we can only imagine, you know, from afar, watching a war correspondent and what that looks like and what.
She's not a war correspondent. She's on the back line. She's in Russian-held territory in a living room.
What that entails, just in the
unless she's on the front lines of A Handmaid's Tale.
Past 24 hours, what has been your experience in this coverage? How much sleep do you get? What are you seeing on a daily basis?
Well, no, I don't want to be dramatic.
What?
I'm in Donetsk. I was in Mariupol on the 24th, 25th, I think it was.
Yeah, you got out, did you?
I might be wrong about those dates.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't long after that. Let's just say before they started strafe bombing the entire fucking city.
And I hopefully we'll get into this. I was also west of Mariupol, where Western media was claiming there's a mass grave. Now, this was some days ago. The night before last, around, I think it was 11 p.m.,
I was out there with a shovel.
Went with two other journalists to a district west, it's in Donetsk, but on the west side of Donetsk, that was being shelled. It had been shelled, I think, 2 hours prior. It was like 100 grad missiles, according to reports I've seen, were shelling this residential area. I believe one person was killed. By the time we got there,
100 grad missiles, one person killed.
The fires were out, but there was a small, like a mini mart that was destroyed. We went to a residential building behind which a shell had hit a school. We spoke with locals there, and they said this is normal. You know, this is what we've been enduring for the last 8 years. So that was 2 nights ago.
Okay, so I wanted to show you guys that. So one of the things, first of all, the idea that she was in Mariupol for a while and then isn't anymore and this kind of shit. These they go on about this forever, and they have her on. And the idea is that she even shows that this kid was faked, that Aleppo was that Russia was in the right. Like, I mean, she's just basically this kind of journalist. Anyways, and this dickhead, hold on, his wife usually, does she come in? This guy, what's his name? Blitz on his name. I don't really. Clayton Morris. That's right. So this dude is all over the fact that Russians are the good guys in this. Ukraine is the bad guys. They had it coming. And then he predicates a lot of this on Odessa. So one of the other storylines that you hear in this particular instance, let me see if I can bring this back a little bit, is in Russia. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, this dude, this is way back over here. This is from a Vice documentary where a cop was accused of pushing someone off a roof that he was actually trying to save, according to him, who jumped off the roof trying to escape or something, and at this police station, while the pro-Russian separatists, who a lot of them strangely have balaclavas on, had taken over a police station. Okay, see this dude right here? This guy right here was wearing a balaclava earlier, and they tore it off his head. He's that guy's a Russian soldier. So and they're blocking an ambulance with a cop that's been beat up by everybody there because the pro-Russian separatists said he killed somebody. Now, so they try to stop it. At one point, somebody says he got on his knees. He kneeled before us and said, Slava Ruska, on your knees, on your knees. And he did it, and then they let the ambulance go because he kneeled down in front of everybody. It was like the only way they could get out of there was to say he knelt before us in whatever. Anyway, so they get him out of there. This is all supposed to be, this is on Odessa. And in 2014. This is a Vice documentary from 2014. This is when everybody was saying the U.S. led a coup and deposed Yanukovych and all that kind of shit. That's the story, right? So the idea is that these are just pro-Russian separatists. They are completely, and this is in the East she's talking about, but that everywhere, and especially there, but also everywhere else, these aren't Russian soldiers. These aren't Russian mercenaries. These aren't people from the Wagner group. This is not a coordinated attack by Russia. This is, because today is the 8-year anniversary of this May 2nd attack at this government building that basically pro-Russian separatists had been occupying. They had taken hostages, effectively. They were barricading the building. And then finally, the locals had enough and stormed the place. The building caught fire. Some people burned alive inside. Others escaped. There was a belief that there were basically Russian soldiers in there that killed some of the pro-Russian separatists to leave some bodies because they weren't trying to escape. Their bodies were in really weird shapes after they investigated. That's another story. But anyways, the story in Odessa was all these people were doing was they wanted a referendum so that they could join Russia in Odessa, not Donetsk, not Luhansk, not Crimea. Okay, see this dude? This guy right here. This is the next day. This is after these people stormed this is in Luhansk, I think. This is after they stormed the police and the government buildings. And these are just your local dudes, wherever. Okay. This guy identifies himself as a lieutenant in the Russian army and gives all these guys marching orders. This isn't in, later after they'd fully taken over. This is how it started. There he is. What's your rank? Lieutenant Colonel. Of what? Lieutenant Colonel of the Russian army. There he is. This is the story that somehow that she's selling and that all these other people are selling is that people just rose up and decided they'd rather be with Russia. For why? Nobody knows. The fuck is the difference? If both governments are free, if both governments, you can do whatever you want, effectively. You had more freedom in Ukraine. So why do we want to be part of Russia? Whatever, other than the fact that there's some social manipulation going on there, some sort of, like they move people in and then feed them patriotic stuff about Russia and then move more people in and more people in. They start shuffling the Ukrainians out from the Russian side. And then eventually those people are like, we are Russia, right? So, and then they're like, the way this worked out was these folks eventually took over everything in those areas, and then all of a sudden stood up and said, I'm a lieutenant in the Russian army. Like, these were supposed to be locals, and all of a sudden, you're pulling off their balaclavas and la-di-da. This is in 2014. This is when Yanukovych was deposed. This is when Yatsenyuk is the PM and Yanukovych is in the process of being impeached. And they had already pushed into Crimea. Now they're going after Donetsk and Luhansk. That's what happened back then. This isn't, if you'll notice, none of this shit is a bunch of like, we've got to get these Nazis out of here. This is by the way, this is them storming the police station. You fuckers killed the guy, and then your people, move your people, they're aggressive. This guy says, I didn't push the guy, and then they drag him out, and then that's the guy they beat. As soon as he goes, let him surrender, he's getting out, or he says he didn't do anything, and then as soon as he says yes, and he gets past them, they blocked that word, sorry. The pro-Russian separatists start beating him, calling him Hunta scum, and then they take him out, that's him. They put him in an ambulance to get him out of there because these guys were beating him alive and the other people were trying to keep him out. And then that's when they blocked the ambulance. That's just one story. That's from the Vice documentary on this. So these folks, this dude wants you to think, just like Jimmy Dore, just like Russell Brand, that Russian denazification is a brand new thing, that they just realized that, they've had enough with these darn Nazis in the country. And that's what this is really about. And we got to get them out. We got to, it matters more than anything. And also the Jewish-led head of the country the Jewish head of the country needs to be deposed because in the words of Sergei Lavrov, it is said that Hitler had Jewish blood. That's what Lavrov said this week. Anyways, this asshole and his wife who does the other part of it. Where's this? They're basically doing the same videos that it's like a mix. It's like Jimmy Dore meets Glenn Beck. And they'll do the same kind of like pro Fox, Elon Musk, liberals are crying shit. There's literally another video, I want to say by Jimmy Dore, that has this almost identical title. President Obama calls for more online censorship. As a matter of fact, if we look at his videos, he's live right now. So I'm sure I'm missing audience because it's hard to decide between the two of us. Where is it? See, they're so similar. Elon Musk buys, they freak out, yada, yada. It's the last Obama one, wherever it was. You guys spot. Oh, here it is. Censorship is freedom. Obama says censoring social media will keep us safe. They're basically making the same fucking videos. So good. Glad they're competing with each other. But this is the same crap. And they're borderline. They have the same audience. Their analytics are almost identical. Yeah, they're funnier than Jimmy on accident sometimes. But there's a lot of this. MSNBC host terrified of Elon Musk buying Twitter, that kind of stuff. Like that's what they do. Marjorie Taylor Greene banned from re-election, like all that kind of shit. And then there's going to be a question mark, but it's off the screen. Is that what this is? Jon Stewart's woke Apple TV show is a flop. It's basically the same shit. So yeah, I just want to. We will be doing more videos from on these idiots. Most of their stuff is really long, but they've started putting up 10-minute videos recently. So we'll jump into occasionally some of those, in future. But I was watching their live stream earlier because it's basically this same talking point. Okay, boring you enough over. Okay, the name of this video, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Welcome. The name of this video is, I think, perfect. This video. It's true of almost every. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hal, this is the same. This absolutely has the same. This should be the title of all Don Jr. videos. Certainly. That looks like a title I would put on his video. My video of his video. He and Eric are out shooting someplace. So he went and shot a 3-minute video, which I'm going to guess is mostly somebody else. Okay, no, he comes back to himself. I haven't seen this, so let's find out.
Well, guys, I, for one, am relieved. I'm relieved that the adults are back in charge. The adults are back in the White House. Just so we are clear how the adults behave, this is our new information czar, the leader of Joe Biden's Ministry of Truth.
Okay, this is, by the way, the Ministry of Truth talking point is going to be dead in 8 weeks. That's its lifespan max, because nothing's going to come from it that will affect yours and my, ability to get information, even if it's wrong, from anywhere. But these guys are worried that they're going to announce where the money is coming from for a bunch of these disinfo campaigns that will affect Redacted and Jimmy Dore and all these folks. They're going to start posting like, hey, look at where all these super chats are coming from that are from outside the country. It's this one particular address in Macedonia. That's the stuff they're going to start pointing out. And it's going to fuck with their bottom line. That's why they're weirded about this. But none of this is going to change. Like, even if they tell you that, you're not going to be forced to actually listen. That's not how our government works.
This is them acting like adults. This is also her acting in a total and obvious impartial manner. This is going to be the person that decides.
Not at all panicking. Not at all panicking. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic. Don't let the Coke talk, Don. Don't let the Coke talk.
Who is and who isn't
holding an imaginary joint.
Telling the truth. What truths should be censored? What should be suppressed?
No, none of those things.
Why don't you take a look and let's see what happens.
Pondering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain, they're laundering disinfo, and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream.
I'm exhausted.
Information's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
I love her.
Okay, folks. So that's
Hold
Nina
on.
Jankowicz, Joe Biden.
Hang the fuck out. Hey, shut up, buddy. Wait a minute. First of all, how did she manage to... She talks fast.
In Congress or a mainstream outlet, so disinformation's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
Okay, folks.
Oh, that's amazing. Hey, man, look, don't be upset, all right? Just because she can memorize all that stuff and, like, speak real fast and do a little thing and a do-dee-do and whip, but I did a little back on, you know, don't be ashamed, man. Just because you need Post-it notes to get through a 3-minute video, there ain't no shame in that. Not everybody has a full firing prefrontal cortex. I know. I've met more than my fair share of the business end of a shovel in my life, and sometimes my brain will just... And I don't even know what happened. You know what I mean? What happened? What happened? I'll feel better, though.
So that's Nina Jankowicz, Joe Biden's new...
Hey, man, I'm going to go out on a fucking limb and say I think you might be allergic to some of them plants around you. Also, if you're lost, blink your glassy eye twice for yes.
Minister of Truth.
She's not the minister of truth. The only minister of truth is Reverend Bob Montgomery. Good man from, he born in Toledo, Ohio, raised in Alabama, and one of the greatest preachers I've ever seen personally, whatever. And I only say that, you know, because A, he can recite the Bible backwards and forwards because he can do the Christian version or the satanic version. It's a talent. And I peed in a trough next to the man.
Because we're reliving 1984.
Fuck, I wish, man. That is one, I mean, as Van Halen albums go, fuck yes. Let's relive 1984, man. Might as well jump. I got a country record that's a version of that or whatever. Can't you see me standing here? I got my back against the record machine. Oh, man.
But A, this person doesn't feel like she could actually...
memorize stuff and spit it out and speak fluently about a lot of different things all at once, and she doesn't feel like what, dummy? P.S. No offense, but if you're going to pick a place to do a video, try not to look like you're in the regional dinner theater version of the Sound of Music.
Survive in modern society. Clearly she's an imbecile.
Huh? Motherfucker, she talks like that dude who used to sell micro machines.
But more important, the bias that...
Yeah, what's more important than surviving in modern society?
She's shown, whether it's through this video, whether it's through her defense of the Hunter Biden laptop.
What? I'm not familiar with this device. I would like to hear more about it. You wouldn't happen to have a picture of it, would you?
Whether it's through a number of things.
I got a number of things. I'll show you 2 of them, and you can guess what the third looks like.
That she has posted in her Twitter feed that reads, you know, like...
Holy shit, she still got a Twitter feed? Even your dad doesn't have one of those.
Adam Schiff's even more partisan alter ego should truly scare everyone in America, okay? This is how sick the Democrats have become. They need to put a partisan clown like this into that kind of position because their ideas are terrible. Their ideas suck, but they're going to make sure
Well, but they sure can rap. I'll give them that, man. That shit was amazing.
that your ideas are not heard, right?
No, I don't want my ideas heard. I want my words heard, but if I have an idea, zippity-doo-dah, motherfucker. Because sometimes, you ever have an idea, you're like, I think I'm gonna try that. And then you go, oh, that would have gone really bad. Like you delay for a moment, you're like, hang on, this might not be prudent. And then just that way you go, some big thing slams down and you're like, my penis would have been right there. Or, the hog runs off or whatever. Anyways, it's not important. The important thing is you have a second to reconsider. Yeah, I feel that way with like saying my thoughts out loud sometimes. Know what I mean? I mean, he don't know what I mean. The hills are alive with the smell of cocaine.
There's not just an attack on the Second Amendment and the First Amendment.
Yeah, there's 2.5 and 7.1. You can't even quarter soldiers in your house now if you want to.
There's an attack on just simply being an American.
Wow, how do they do that?
Because this kind of affront to democracy is disgusting. Now,
Well, she was appointed by somebody who was elected. That's part of democracy. I'm just saying.
If Donald Trump appointed a minister of truth, people would be losing their damn minds.
Well, yeah, mostly because irony on that level, if you don't have a soft lead in, can really, it'll split you wide open. I'm just saying, you can't give that much irony to the American public without a huge amount of lube.
Rightfully so. But because it's the Democrats and because it's for their narrative, all you're going to hear is silence. So I ask you guys one thing.
Okay, here it comes. Get ready, folks. I may not have the answer to this, but you will. Do it. Come on. Come on, man. I want to hear what your answer to the question is. Here comes the question. Let's do it. Woo!
Can you name
I can name a bug that just bounced off your fucking eyeball, man. What? Are you filming this on the back of a cow? What the fuck was that? Watch this.
One thing.
Watch right there.
Can you name
Boink.
a regime?
That wasn't
in
even
the world?
hang the fuck out. That wasn't a bug. That was like a hamster turd just flew out there. They's like, is he filming this on a hamster or he just got a squirrel in his hand like this? And watch this. Squirrel turd hits him right in the face.
Thing.
Watch this.
Can you name
Squirrel turd
a regime in the world? A despotic.
And look, man, he was on a roll. He was on a roll. And now he's, and you can't start again.
And rightfully so. But because it's the Democrats and because it's for their narrative, all you're going to hear is silence. So I ask you guys
see what I mean? He's reading. He's got it down. He's looking at his Post-it note. It's on his arm. And then you're getting riled up and you're so good and all this stuff. And squirrel turd hits you right in the face. You ain't going to stop.
Can you name...
Ding, there it goes. Oh, shit. I knocked it all the way back. Hold on. Where is that squirrel turd? Back it up.
Here is silence. So I ask you guys one thing. Can you name...
I'm sorry, I'm enjoying that squirrel turd too much. That's wrong. That's like in that, hey, remember that Raiders of the Lost Ark movie with that Beloche dude, the French guy? Belloc. Remember that dude? And he was talking and he was like... shoot away, Mr. Indiana Jones. Blow it back to gold. Remember that? I do a pretty good French accent. I once hung out with a woman who was pretending to be French for an extra $20. So she taught me how to do that. Anyways, where was I? Shit, never mind. Because he was talking and there was a fly on his face and it crawled right in his fucking mouth. And the actor who was playing it didn't even blink, man. He didn't even bite the fucker. I don't know if it just crawled down his throat or what. And that wasn't even fucking CGI, man. That was a real fly. That was before CGI. They'd had to claymate that fly.
A regime in the world, a despotic and tyrannical regime,
Okay.
that they themselves did not have a ministry of truth.
All right. Name a despotic regime that did not have a minister of truth. Huh. I think the Chinese, they got a propaganda ministry, but they do not have a ministry of truth. The Germans had a propaganda ministry. They did not have a ministry of truth. Russia had a propaganda ministry. Didn't have a ministry of truth. Didn't even call it that. UK, maybe? I feel like the only thing I know had a ministry of truth, I gotta say, was this one mega church I went to for about 8 weeks. It was so good. They had a great band. Hymns were fucking kicking. It was awesome. They had this dude who'd come in there and he was just shredding it up. He was shredding, onward Christian soldiers marching. It was so good. You know what I mean? They arrested the pastor for forcible sodomy on a barnyard animal. But up until that point, man, this is the best church I ever went to. And they had a ministry of truth. When they started that, now that I think of it, they started that ministry of truth about 4 days after those pig allegations. Or were they horse allegations? I guess it was both. I mean, I lost track after a while. There was 4 chickens, 1 mule. Was it a donkey? I don't know. He kept joking about it was sterile and couldn't have kids. I think that's a mule. And a quarter horse that he paid twice as much for, and 2 pigs. Full grown. Don't be gross. They had a ministry of truth. That's it. That's it. Hey, man, don't talk to the sheep. Sheep lie.
Think about it. All the tyrants, all the dictators, all the despots.
Hey, man, he never had a dictator. I'll tell you that. I did once find him with his groin kind of pressed up against a pineapple. But I mean, I'm not eating potato salad at anybody's house if I discovered that, because that's got mayonnaise involved. Forget it.
They all had something similar. We should be thinking.
Well, something similar. Hey, man, did you do a fucking edit? You didn't edit out the squirrel turd? What the fuck? Did a horse hit you with?
All had something similar. We should be thinking about.
Look at that shit. Man, they cut something out in there. They all had something like, oh, the fuck was that? Holy shit, dude. I think a horse turd hit him in the face and they had to break and cut. Continuity.
About that, because again, I have a feeling we'd be hearing a lot about it if it was from the Trump administration. But that's just me, folks. Well, guys,
It certainly is, man. It is just you, sweaty in a field, reeking of squirrel turds, apparently on somebody else's land. I think this is where he and Eric went shooting. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Hey, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. I have to say, hold on, is my stool? There we go. I don't know why my stool is. Somebody pushed in my stool. What? And my cameras. See that little wedge over there? What the hell? There you go. Everything's cattywampus. What happened? My cat's been running around my desk. That's what's happened. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show in any way that you can. And if you can't, just enjoy it. But, you know, if you don't, I don't know how I'll stay on the air. I might end up going the way of other greats who've been broomed from the... ladies and gentlemen, Judge Janine. Don't think for a second she still has her own show. No. She's filling in, I think, on Jesse Waters' show. Because I think he's doing racist on the street stuff in Chinatown in New York before the anti-Asian hate crime legislation goes into full effect. He's got to, they're losing their light in that regard. And she wants to know the question that's on somebody's mind at Fox in one of the edit booths, I suppose. Is Hunter Biden a national security threat? Yes. Can you imagine what the Biden administration would do to try and hide the fact that Hunter Biden has a failed marriage, a former crack addiction, at one point had a gun he wasn't supposed to have, and then he might have done business with China or Ukraine. If people were to find that stuff out, they could use that as leverage against... How do you blackmail someone? The information is already out. I mean, if it's out and nobody reacted, then it wouldn't be a security threat at all, unless you did some work and tried to make it a security threat by raising the seriousness above the level.
Devin Nunes is the...
Oh, God. What? Devin Nunes? She's bringing on Devin Nunes?
Former Intel chairman and the...
Have you ever seen a face that looks more like it's going... I mean, this is like... You know the long drawn out balloon farts? This is what its face looks like. It's like if you caught someone in the middle of a long fart. This is what they would look like. Hi, Devin. Or it's more like... Hello. Seriously, it's like you won a contest. Like, who can look more like a cartoon chipmunk? All right, let's see what this has. Like, hold on.
CEO of Trump Media and Technology Group. Good evening, Devin. It's so good to see you again.
That's all right. Don't lie to him right out of the gate. Look at his face. He knows that's not true.
Again, is Devin
Is who? This is Devin, just in case you were wondering. Ma'am, hold on. I gotta click on the screen. Is who?
Devin, it's so good to see you
It
again.
is so good.
Is Devin...
Your real name? Because it seems stupid. And is Devin with you? Are you Devin?
Is Hunter Biden...
Oh, okay. Sorry. Devin Biden. I didn't know. He's like a third cousin. Devin Biden.
a national security threat himself?
Yes, Devin Nunes is the guy to ask. I don't know. Maybe there's some Truth Social posts about it.
Well, I think that's been the case for a long time, John.
Well, then he isn't anymore. You can't be a threat for very long.
And if you look at this, the Chinese portion of this story is relatively new. There was a lot of light shined on
this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine.
Mayor of Moscow giving
the wife of the mayor of Moscow giving
millions of dollars
to Rosemont Seneca. No, please say the Bidens.
The Bidens. There
hey, fuck you.
was information.
Yeah, he gave it to Rosemont Seneca. Biden was one of the partners. Hunter Biden was one of the partners in it. They invested the money. She's now the richest woman in Moscow. So if you have money to invest in the millions of dollars and you want to give it to somebody and make money on it, give it to Rosemont Seneca. And apparently, Russia is never going to get over the fact that this guy and his team worked at Burisma and now it's a functioning company. It was so bad they had to bomb the fucking country.
Information on the Ukrainians that were involved with the Bidens. But now I think most trouble.
Mm-hmm. Which Ukrainians would that be? Would that be the Ukrainians that were Russian sock puppets that were trying to destroy the country, or the actual Ukrainians who are fighting for their lives right now? Da 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 da. Never mind.
Is because China really is our number one adversary overseas. They're a major problem moving forward, and it seems clear that there's lots of tentacles into the Biden family.
It does? Like what? What are we doing for China right now? What are we doing? What are we doing to benefit China? What have we done? What hand job are we giving Xi Jinping right now? All of a sudden. Name one fucking thing.
Well, the sad part about all
It is sad.
This is that this guy person.
This guy person. He is a guy and a person. He's a person guy. I know, Hunter. Hunter's got this pained look on his face. I feel the same way. Right now, we're all Hunter Biden. By the way, he looks like he's on the set of Rust.
Also connected to Eric Schwerwin, which we now understand was another partner at Rosemont Seneca, who had enormous repeated visits to the White House. And we now know that Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were literally paying each other's bills.
Why would you need? Why would you need to pay each other's bills? Why is the bag man pays the boss's bills because he's the bag man? It's not his fucking money. And what bills are you talking about? What, like, again, it's like if he's worth that much, if they walked away with $1 billion, who gives a fuck if this millionaire son bought him some shutters? What the fuck?
Hunter was paying for home bills.
Home bills, yeah. I mean, this is cartel level shit.
And Joe ended up paying for the, I guess, the trouble that Hunter got into, the legal trouble with respect to the latest investigation. Isn't this like interplay of money? Doesn't that call for not just a national security review, but a prosecutorial?
Nobody gives a fuck. It's out in the open. You know about it. I know about it. You can't blackmail with people with shit that's out in the open.
Review?
Well, this is what we don't know.
Yes, and what he's talking about is his ass from his elbow.
We know that the FBI was sitting on the laptop from hell.
They were? Is that where it is? Everybody at the FBI who's watching my show right now, and I know you all are on your monitors. Hi, everybody. You're welcome. Get up out of your chair. Everybody take a look. Somebody is sitting on the Hunter Biden laptop. Where the fuck is it?
We know that
karate.
Media and the...
I love how he's trying to gesture. He's so aware he's in a little sliver window. So they're giving him network feed. So he knows they know that I know that if I move my hands out here, you can't see them. So I'm going, it's so stupid.
Social media companies censored this from reaching the public before.
Who gives a fuck? Nobody cares. Because it was unconfirmed bullshit and it still is.
For the 2020 election.
Deep ties between the Bidens and China. Yeah, that's why we're still we're hand in glove. As a matter of fact, the Biden administration is sending security gear over to help them with the Shanghai lockdown. Get the fuck out of here. This is so stupid.
Election. And now there's all this new information that clearly the FBI must have had, because I'm guessing this all came from the laptop from hell.
Well, if it did, then you got to throw it out. Because you can't verify the chain of evidence, and it's useless. And there's multiple copies of it floating around, and you don't know which one's the real one. So if any of it again, it's garbage, but it's poorly constructed garbage.
Right.
And then you had 50 former officials, intelligence and military officials, that actually covered this all up.
No, they didn't. They called it for what it was. Russian disinfo. It still is. It's bullshit. Come at me, bro. Judge Janine. The next time you're on Jesse Waters, have me on. I'll call bullshit on the entire thing. And I won't even say the word bullshit on the air in so many words. I'll infer that the use of the word.
So, that's...
I'll allow for the inference thereof. I will imply bullshit while allowing for the inference thereof.
Why, it's exciting what we're doing at Truth Social, Judge, because we're finally...
Judge.
Opening the internet back up and giving people their voice back.
Oh my God, the internet is open. Guys, I gotta go. Maybe I'll be able to find my way. It's so meta.
Well, it's very important, whether Truth Social, then you've got Elon Musk. Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with, we need a governance board to make sure people are saying what's truthful. 30 seconds. Talk to me about what you think.
You have 30 seconds to... She literally... 30 seconds. Halfway. I mean, it's got to be torture to be Devin Nunes. I would grow a beard. I would grow a beard and wear sunglasses fucking everywhere. I mean, at some point, you just got to go like full fucking hipster and just go, man, I just look funky. Let it go. Fucking Jesus Christ. You can't have every freeze frame like... You can't not. I swear to God, I do not intend to do this.
I think they're trying to do.
Look, I think this is a direct result. They kicked Donald Trump off of the platform. Millions of Americans were kicked off.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. Millions of Americans were not kicked off of Twitter. Never happened. He doesn't, unless, is this like maggot math? One Trump equals millions of regular Americans.
Now you've got the fact that you've got Elon Musk now fighting with other tech oligarchs and with the Democrats. You've got us.
Is it like Greco-Roman, or are they oiled up? What's happening?
At Truth, we're number one on the App Store, right?
Yeah, because it's percentage of new downloads, and when the place is empty, percentages look, never mind.
Now, this is what's happening, and I think this is a result of that. The Biden administration doesn't know what to do.
Ugh. Oh, I appreciate the people at Fox News who couldn't give less of a fuck about their YouTube channels covering up Judge Jeanine's face. They could have placed the Fox News channel logo a little better, but it looks like an ad, like, don't like one old brunette? How about two young blondes?
All right, Devin Nunes, it's good to see you again. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks, Judge. This went so well. This is great. I mean, this was successful. This felt like success.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Oh, God. See, they fixed this part of it. Why don't you just shrink her down to this square, put these videos up there, and then switch over to him when it transfers. Oh, fucking hell. They don't have time for that stuff. It's not like they don't make that kind of money at Fox. Hold on. I gotta. Is that my camera? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Just making myself a little bigger in here. By the way, don't forget Venmo. Great way to help the show. Venmo, great way to help the show. Venmo. All right. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hell, it's not like you have these post-show graphics all done. I'm working on it, but I also don't have literally like 4 headquarters across the country with a bunch of editors sitting on their thumbs, that could whip this kind of stuff out in an afternoon. Matter of fact, I'm going to do this because it's making me mad. I'm going to make one of those. Hold on. Let's see. I would need a green picture. Hold on one second. Let's see. Do a big, where's a big, I need a big picture of this. Yeah. Let's see. Blow this up. There you go. Now, hold on. Wait, work with me. I know it's a mistake. Hold on. I gotta blow this up. Work with me. Give me a second. Okay. Why is it not so? Okay. Smaller. I'm just going to do this on my show. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. God damn it. Why is it a square? The hell? Sorry, Sean. Give me a second. It's ridiculous. Well, maybe I can do it this way. Damn it. Let's see. This would be the vids. There you go. Move this up. Oops, no, that's not it. Comms window. That's not it. Oh, it's alert box PNG. Dibbit. Oh, it's behind there. Display. There we go. That's it. There you go. That'll work. Hi there. You just watched a clip from HAL SPARKS MEGAWORLDWIDE, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. If you like what you saw, you can check out any of these 4 videos, and you can, of course, donate and support the show in any way you see fit. Or if you just want to troll, come on by. Is that good? Cut? Should we do that again? I liked it. It was good for me. Let's move it. Moving on. See? Look at that. And then later on, I can just put in whatever I want. See what I did there? Come on. Then I'm going to steal that clip for the post show. Okay, make a clip. There we go. Something like that. Hold on. I've got to actually go in here and make a clip with the clip button. Make a clip. Add a marker to the video today, because that's what I do. Go away. All right, come on now. Added a clip to the stream. Hey. And, oh wait, I've got to pull a clip that. There we go. Where's the clip that? There it is. I'm going to grab that, clip that. There we go. Cool. Did that work? I can't tell, so I've got to do it again. It's not open, innit? There we go. Clip that. All right. That was a 30-second clip. Hopefully that's the same. All right, here we go. I was just doing a little tech work since I can. Why not? Come on. It's fun. All right, now, speaking of lazy and stupid and ignorant and foolish and violent and weird, Bongino, who, of course, is looking for TP for his bunghole and has been for a very long time, is currently, I think, fresh from the Manfest with Josh Hawley at the Christian Monster Truck Rally, where they played Welcome to the Jungle. I think it was actually, I didn't hear all the lyrics. I think they changed the words, Welcome to the Bunghole, for him. I mean, it's an honor. I mean, and by the way, this is a show he does called Unfiltered. So one is to presume that every other show that Bongino does is somehow filtered or censored on his behalf, or that this show is ironically unfiltered, which is, it's kind of like Byron Allen has that show Comics Unleashed. I've been on there, and comics have never been more leashed than they are on that show. You have to prep your bits. It's all contrived. There's nothing free about it. It's very weird. Okay, so let's see. This is, by the way, this is Bongholio. Biden's presidency is apocalyptic. But like in a GIF kind of a way.
Folks, it was a good week for free speech. Elon's getting ready to...
And again, it's a good week for free speech, as I can tell in my teleprompter.
Take the reins here at Twitter to allow the free flow of ideas again. As for the left, well, they kind of melted down a bit. Here's what they had to say about it.
The thing is, the enjoyment they get out of being in this town square is being able to harass people. Elon Musk, I guess he misses the old South Africa in the 80s. He wants that back.
It seems to me that it's about free speech.
So it's apparently, is Bongholio only on there to get black people's reactions to stuff? Is this like Fox wants to go after how black women responded to this? So they can't, they'll get in deep shit. None of the other hosts will touch it. And the only ones that will get drummed off the air like Kilmeade. So Bongholio gets thrown in. They put together this clip, like this mashup, this montage for his show.
Straight white men. And so let them have it.
You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates.
Also, by the way, there is an argument that Ari Melber is a black woman, if only for his musical tastes. I'm kidding. Relax.
Or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
Now, I get it. You're like, oh, it's going to be another show about Elon. No, it's not, actually.
Apparently, that's the feedback that they're getting, that you're so busy filleting Elon Musk that your own... Was he on once a week?
Actually.
And his viewers are already bored?
It's going to do a little head fake for you. Listen, it's nice to take a victory lap with Elon potentially taking over at Twitter. But folks, this is just one battle. This fight is barely started.
Yeah. I mean, next up, we got to go after Amazon. If my products can't get pushed to the top of the list, I don't even know.
Here's what I mean.
Okay, good. Finally, he's going to tell us, because I've been watching for years and I still don't know.
When you hear the words big tech, what probably comes to mind? You know
what really comes to mind? Can I be honest? When people say big tech, let's see. Let's see if I can. Let's see. If you Hold on. I've got to blow this up a little bit. Get out of here. Quit it. This I want to show you guys. This is what I like when somebody asks me what, like, when anybody says big tech, this is immediately what I think. That's what I think. Anytime just somebody says big tech, I think of big mechs like Titanfall, Pacific Rim, any of that stuff. That's when if you say big tech, that's what immediately comes to mind. Autobots. That's right. Autobots assemble. Right. Every time. Not that so much. This pretty close. Yeah. Robotech comes to mind. Steel Battalion. Metal Gear Solid. You say big tech, this is what I think. And by the way, I can't fucking wait for this stuff to show up. I mean, I'd rather it not be used for war. I think it'd be nice to see kind of a, like super football played this way in these giant machines with people inside these cylinders that, can't be harmed. So all of our esports guys can actually operate these things from the inside. Yeah. There you go. This shit right here. That's what I think. When somebody says big tech, that's what I think. I do not think Google. I don't. And the logo for Google just must drive them crazy. They're all like, it's gay. It means gay. Look at all the colors. It's gay. Like, it's like gaggle. God. You could tell that people at Fox, when they see the Google logo, they're like, rainbow. Ah!
The major players, the Twitters, the Facebooks, the YouTubes, you get it.
MySpace. AOL Online. Anything. Yeah. Anything any bulletin board from the early 90s that started with a
they're at the center of everyone's focus and attention.
Yeah, most of the time.
Because they're in your face every single day.
Well, no, I mean, they're not in my face. You have to pick up your phone, put your phone in your face. Your phone's in your face, and then these things are in the phone. They're not in your face every day. You wouldn't even notice them if you didn't pick up your fucking phone. Don't pick up your phone first thing. And if you do, have something else on there. Either have a book reading app or I have a to-do list thing that I look at,
You already know the censorship, they're capable of it. They've kicked you in the cojones with it. And
have they? I do not have that adapter for my phone. There's another thing that does attach to your cojones. And I personally, I'm going to look that up. And it's still like, let's see. iPhone linked. There's got to be some sort of, how do I not get it? Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't so much kick you in the cojones. It's a different thing altogether. But it hooks up to your phone. I wouldn't use it personally. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but it makes me, the whole process, the idea makes me nervous. But so far I have not been quote unquote kicked in the cojones by my phone at any point. Whoops, shit. Sorry.
Could just see you in the cojones with it, and they do it in plain sight. I mean,
I beg your pardon. First of all, why do you have your cojones and your phone out in plain sight?
They banned Donald Trump, the president of the United States.
Yeah, but only after he led a violent insurrection on the Capitol. They didn't give a fuck before that. As a matter of fact, they let him stay on past the time he should have been kicked off if he was like anybody else. In America, where supposedly nobody's above the law and the rules apply equally to everyone, he managed to skate by without being, having to face the music for a very long time. I guess you just support elitists and the ability that there should be an upper class that doesn't have to pay attention to the rules, while the rest of us plebes have to pay attention to everything we say or we'll get kicked off.
Censor the Hunter Biden story, did that too.
What Hunter Biden story? I'm not familiar. It was censored from my my feed, I guess. Did they ever find the laptop? Has anybody ever seen it besides the guy who can't see?
Trump done. I've warned you about it for years.
Yeah, no, it's nothing new. I mean, we know you're not saying anything new, Bongholio.
Not a secret. But what about the big tech power players and kind of sub players underneath them that
like eBay, Etsy.
Don't make front page news all the time.
Right. Like Pornhub. No, they're always on the Daily Beast.
You may see these stories on page 2 or 3, but that's where the real experience of censorship is happening.
On page 2 and 3? How am I supposed to read it? Wouldn't those pages be blacked out?
I'm telling you, I've been there, I've seen it, I've lived it.
You've lived, yes. Bongholio has been on page 3.
Here are a few examples. First, what about Wikipedia?
Yeah, what about Wikipedia? Am I right?
You really don't hear Wikipedia much, especially when it comes to the big tech censorship game. But don't doubt me on this.
Why would I?
Wikipedia is becoming a powerful source for censorship and rewriting history, and they're just as influential in some cases as social media is.
Yeah, and you know who told me that? The New York Post.
I mean, everyone freaked out that Twitter censored the Hunter Biden laptop story, which of course was true before the
No, it wasn't, and no, they didn't.
election. But
You guys did. You guys freaked out because it was your only shot to win.
strangely, the mainstream media has largely avoided the Wikipedia story, scrubbing Hunter Biden's connections to a major investment firm whose executives met with Hunter Biden, or should I say, remember the big guy at the White House? Weird how that story kind of disappeared, right? Rewriting history, live time.
Hold on. All right, let's look it up. Wikipedia deletes entry for Hunter Biden Rosebud. This is the story. This is April 23rd. Wikipedia deletes entry. Oh, it's the same pictures that the current picture. So they're all using the same photographs. Dismiss. Wikipedia editors removed the entry for Rosemont Seneca Partners earlier this week on the ground that it was not notable. Archive comments from the talk page reveal. The deletion happened Wednesday. The investment company co-founded by Hunter Biden has been the heart of numerous questions surrounding his overseas business dealings. The organization is only mentioned in connection with its famous founders, Hunter Biden and Christopher Hines. A wiki editor identified only as Alex, who initially warned that keeping it around ran the risk of the page becoming a magnet for conspiracy theories about Hunter Biden. Arguments to merge the story with Hunter Biden's official Wikipedia page were also overruled. The brief article. Oh, I see. So their own page is not necessary. That's what it is. So the page itself, it's still listed on his page. The brief article was thin on details and in bad need of overhaul, but did provide information on the company's founding by Hunter. Yeah, the brief article was thin on details. So this is the old. This is the part that was pulled out, which, by the way, you can look at all the time. This is literally just a parking spot for all the, that's what they were talking about, these references. Hunter Biden's web of interests, Rosemont Seneca Partners, LLC, retrieved again in Pittsburgh's charms attract another young professional, Christopher Hines, Farewell NYC, Rosemont Seneca Partners, LLC, open corporate. Will Hunter Biden jeopardize his father's campaign? That's where it gets into. Fact check claims that Hunter Biden received $3 unproven, lack context. Will Hunter Biden jeopardize his father's campaign? Another version of the same one. Explainer, Trump's claims in Hunter Biden dealings in China. The gas tycoon and the vice president's son. The story of Hunter Biden's foray into Ukraine. Washington Post. Gas tycoon and the vice president, same one twice. Biata puts in $30 million in funding to help predict the global spread of disease. All right. Judge revive conviction of Hunter Biden's ex-business partner. Court reinstates fraud conviction for Hunter Biden business partner. Okay, so basically this was going to become a parking lot for stories about that. Meanwhile, there are stories about Rosemont Seneca in his own article, right? And there's Devin Archer, right? Wikipedia has tilted so far left in recent years. The co-founder Larry Sanger now says the site cannot no longer be trusted and has become propaganda. Very busy, nasty. And again, how do you know that Alex, the editor on this, isn't a Russian editor? Isn't a fake account? How do you know? Just so this story can come up, right? They just get in there, start swiping stuff. They've been in there for years. Nobody knows. And so it creates a news story whenever they need it. I don't give a fuck if this story's in there or if that's on Wikipedia. Do you? Do you think this has any impact on the overall story? No. But somebody going in and removing information so obviously and blatantly would draw attention. So, boring. Deletes entry for Hunter Biden investment firm.
Now you're probably saying, come on, Dan, Wikipedia, that doesn't influence public opinion. You sure about that?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that still think I'm vegan and dating a suicide girl.
Why did a former clerk for Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, soon to be Justice, help Wikipedia rewrite the bios of all the Supreme Court candidates to help, according to Politico, bolster the page of his former boss while altering the pages for competitors in an apparent attempt to invite liberal skepticism? And when you know, 2 months later, Ketanji Brown Jackson is confirmed to the Supreme
Dun, dun, dun. It's the Wikipedia nexus.
Court with little more than a whisper.
With little more than a whisper. She met with every senator. Fucking Lindsey Graham voted for her for the federal bench.
Folks on the right. Wikipedia is actually rewriting history as we speak.
Do you rely on Wikipedia for history? I don't.
In an effort to gaslight an entire nation in live time. Oh, there's more. I'm not done. Then there's the Apple App Store. You know about Apple, of course, but you know
Oh, yeah, the App Store.
about the App Store? Where you go to get apps?
Well, that's what you do. I do something completely different.
Well, one of the most powerful platforms online, the App Store, they have a monopoly over there.
No, they don't have a monopoly. They have a product and they have their own app store for it. Other products have their own app store because the software has to work on their product and can't conflict with the security that the user expects or the quality of the other apps or violate any of the TOS. So they have to vet and make sure the code works for all the things on the App Store. So they have to have their own App Store. You can't have a secondary App Store because you'd fuck up the phone.
They can just about ban any content they want. Politics don't even need to be involved.
Right. I mean, it depends on how political the snuff videos that you want to watch are, Bongholio, but I'm sure there are a lot of videos that would be available on a lot of apps with a lot of penis cuffs that would hook up via Bluetooth that you'd want to see that I don't see them putting them out through the App Store. I just don't see it.
They once attacked Fortnite, banned Fortnite, which is one of the most popular online games for young people.
Yeah.
With more than 300 million
Why do they do that?
registered users. Apple made the app disappear off the store. Check out this headline. Fortnite to be blacklisted from App Store until their legal battle subsides.
Fortnite to be blacklisted from App Store until, shall we? Reuters. Okay, here we go. Epic Games. Apple bars Epic's Fortnite from App Store until all court appeals end. Has blacklisted Fortnite from the iPhone maker's App Store for several years until all court appeals are done. Epic Games Chief Executive Officer Tim Sweeney said on Wednesday. Epic Games' opening brief in its appeal to the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court is due December 12th. Sweeney took to Twitter on Wednesday, calling out Apple's move and said the company will continue to fight the tech giant. This is another extraordinary anti-competitive move by Apple, demonstrating their power to reshape markets and choose winners and losers. The two companies have been locked in a legal dispute since August last year, when the game maker tried to get around Apple's 30% fee on some in-app purchases from the App Store by launching its own in-app payment system. The U.S. tech giant is facing a raft of other legal and regulatory challenges to rules it forces game makers to follow, including closely watched antitrust lawsuit. Yes, because if you have an app that has in-app purchases, they have a 30% rule because that's their audience they've designed, and they have to do all this extra shit, and you can't just get around that. And if everybody else has to do it, so do you. That's what this is. They didn't just ban them. Epic Games tried to sell stuff inside without paying their 30% up on there. You can still, fucking hell. You can still buy all that shit on your account on Epic Games, or buy all that shit online when you're playing at home.
Remember Parler? Oh, I remember that well.
Oh yeah, I remember Parler, like 700, or was it 70 terabytes of Parler information on all the users, all their pictures, all their videos, all their metadata, all their personal information, their passwords, and all that kind of stuff was dumped on the internet because some fuckhead ran the joint and was using the trial version of online security software on the website.
It's alive now, but they tried to kill it. The conservative social media alternative was #1 at the time. It was pulled offline overnight. I lived through it because Apple, Amazon, and Google said so. As an early investor, I had a front row seat to that. A nightmare. You say, come on. What about Google? There's no evidence Google's targeting conservatives either. Come on. You really? You sure about that one? Here's a headline from The Hill.
Notice this asshole is doing nothing but reading headlines.
Hundreds of meetings between the White House and Google.
Hundreds. By April. So Biden had been in office for about a month, maybe 2 months, and already in less than 90 days, hundreds of meetings. Let me see. All right, maybe so. Report finds hundreds, whoops, I can spell, of meetings between White House and Google. This is, oh. Mario Trujillo wrote this. Do you guys see the date? It's The Hill. Look at the date. Okay? Now, I just found this article. What? Wait for it. Look at this. Report finds hundreds of meetings between the White House and Google, right? Mario Trujillo, 4/22/16. (4/22/2021), 4/22/16. So did they just put this report out on the same day? Google and its affiliates had 400 meetings during Obama's tenure, according to data from the Campaign of Accountability and Intercept. The data gleaned from the White House meeting log showed that in all, 169 Google employees have met in the White House with 182 government officials, not surprisingly, head of public policy. So as the report highlights the access enjoyed by Google, which is expensive lobbying operation in Washington, consistently ranks among the highest spenders. In just a quarter of this year, Google spent $3.8 million in lobbying the government. Meeting data spans from the first month of Obama's presidency to 2009 to October 2015. Or 6 years. Aside from Google staff and lobbyists, the data also takes into account White House meetings with companies, Tomorrow Ventures, and Civis Analytics. So these guys also count as Google. Anything under Google with them, that's the hundreds of meetings. Tomorrow Ventures is an investment vehicle of Eric Schmidt, the executive chairman of Google's parent company Alphabet, and he's the sole investor in Civis Analytics. The numbers also show 55 times in which Google employees took jobs in the federal government, 197 times when government employees went to work for Google. I mean, it's a giant fucking company, even back then. Google responded to similar reports last year from the Wall Street Journal and the company's visits during an antitrust probe led by the Federal Trade Commission. In past March, Google wrote, of course, we've had many meetings at the White House over the years. The company has said the meetings have a wide range of topics, including self-driving cars, advertising, internet censorship, trade, cybersecurity, civic innovation, help with healthcare.gov, and other issues. But that's fucked up. I mean, never mind the fact that Biden hadn't been in office long enough to have hundreds of meetings with Google, for fuck's sake, in April of 21. But this article is literally, everything about it is the same except the year. See, The Hill. Fucking hell, is this lazy. I'm starting to think that this is a graphic that they've concocted, and they didn't tear the paper out like they were the Unabomber at all.
Strange, right?
Yeah, very strange. I found it very strange that this fucking article is off by 5 years. Yeah, both on the Hill. Look at this. There's the Hill. Mario Trujillo, that's this guy right here.
Here's a quote from an article in Courts. Google's power.
Hold on. This is fading out. Hold on. Back up 1 second. And then, so this guy, Mario Trujillo wrote it, and then that's the only difference is the date right here. 4/22/16, 11 a.m. And then this dickhead, 4/22/2021. That's amazing. That is like the lamest bullshit we've seen so far. And, you know, if it wasn't for a show like this, would anybody bother to look this shit up? Hey, Bongholio, you're a fucking liar. And, like, it's the easiest proof in the world. Look at this. Look at this shit. Fuck you. You're just counting on nobody looking. See, this is why I do this show. Because otherwise, like, when are you not gonna, when is anybody gonna look up this bullshit and call them out on it? Holy hell, that's lame. Jesus. Oh, crap, sorry. There we go. Yeah, right there. Yeah. So, and he's going to tie this to another story. So this is something from 2016.
But unlike many other categorizations it has of you, it won't tell you what it guesses you are.
2019. Google's powerful tracking system lets advertisers target ads to you or hide them from you based on Google's guess of your political leaning.
Politics to be. Folks, it's happening all.
So who gives of course it does. Because campaigns are looking for Republican or Democratic voters or independents or whatever the fuck. So they're going to, when they're buying ads, they're going to want to go, hey, can you target directly? Like, why is this a fucking surprise? This is like these assholes are like, the government can figure out where you're spending all your money and where you're going and what you're doing. You're like, yeah, so can fucking Visa, Amazon. Like, the fact that the government can just buy these services these days, like any other company, it's like, you're boring me, for fuck's sake.
All around us, the App Store, Google Ad Network, Wikipedia. Google Ads is one of the most powerful, devastating tools the left has to censor conservative voices.
The fuck are you talking about? It's also how the right can sell shit.
It's not all about Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah, apparently their whole storyline is dying because if Elon Musk takes over and it doesn't become some sort of like snuff film and beheading paradise, free speech is dead.
And let's check out which political party, by the way, speaking of Apple, they prefer. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Bunch of people who donate and support leftists all the time. Well, what about Alphabet?
Well, I don't know about leftists, but they definitely support Dems.
Google's parent company.
There's also, uppers versus lowers and how much everybody can give. There's a lot more like workers at Apple and Google that work at stores, that work in coding, that work in servicing, that work at call centers and all that kind of stuff. And they tend to donate in smaller donations to Democrats, whereas some of the richer dudes tend to give to, the GOP.
Wow, interesting, right? Look at that. You think?
Yeah, there are fewer executives than there are average workers at Alphabet and Apple.
These people don't have skin in the game. You'd see that right on the screen right there.
In 2022 election cycle political contributions, just Alphabet, Dem, GOP, just the company itself, just in general. That you're not going to give me a number. You're not going to give me the people. You're not going to give me the per dollar. You're like every employee there given $25 that they have versus a couple of executives. Get out of here.
What about Twitter? Folks, all you have to do is follow the money.
Jesus Christ. First of all, paltry. Like 99% of 100 of Jesus Christ, of 116 some odd $1,000. That's pitiful. Like, that's it? Jesus Christ. Go easy on the lobbying, guys. Fucking hell. Hey, there's not a single Democrat that doesn't owe them their political existence. What?
To see which
I'm serious. That's poultry.
Political party Twitter's devoted to. Finally.
Well, apparently to nobody, because I like that's what is that, 2.5 people?
The power. Here's another power center.
Oh shit! What was that edit? Hold on, back the fuck up. They had to cut around it.
Party Twitter's devoted to. Finally, the power. Here's another power center.
Whoa! Just not bothering with a real edit anymore, Fox. They just don't give a shit. You know nobody's watching, right?
And you don't hear about it enough.
No, you don't.
The fact checkers, which is hilarious because they're really opinion checkers. They're the howitzer in the left's censorship arsenal.
Wow, this is a big claim here and tough claims. Let's look at the facts here, though.
To help us break down some of the biggest whoppers of the year is CNN reporter and fact checker.
We're going to fact check the president's lies again.
So for more on these facts, we turn to our own Desi Lidek with What the Actual Facts. Jane, thanks very much for your fact check.
Again, why is this? Oh, and it's going to be a personal attack. Dan Bongino shared a video. Independent fact checkers reviewed a similar video and said it was missing context and could mislead people. Facebook determined your post has the same video with missing context and added a notice to the post. There's no evidence of U.S.-funded bioweapon labs in Ukraine. Claims to the contrary misrepresented the U.S. Cooperative Threat Reduction Agreement health feedback. Okay, so Bongino posted I told you there were biolabs in Ukraine bullshit, and he got called on it. Now he's pissed. By the way, I guess we can put Bongino in the Ukraine had it coming category.
Okay, let me show you how this clown show works with the fact checkers, all right? All they need to do is flag your posts. It's usually because of the politics of it.
Yeah, it's just the politics of it. I mean, one side thinks the Ukrainian people have the right to fight for their own independence and live in a sovereign country. The other side thinks they're Nazis with biolabs.
Using a fact check story, and it's
6 of one, half dozen of another, honestly.
Post on a social media platform, its reach is suppressed. I've personally experienced it. This is a picture of the back end of my page, Facebook. We get this all the time. Independent fact checkers have said it's missing context. You know what the context is? The lunatic fact checking my page is a liberal. That's
what part of it? I mean, I don't care what your opinion of that person is. It's more than likely an algorithm because they're going through the words you're saying and they're checking it against it. I don't think it's an individual most of the time. And then they get a review of it digitally after the fact. But what did you say? Play your shit. Let me see.
What's the context missing? Sorry, that was not in the prompter, of course. Most of my stuff is. You want me to prove the left is cornered?
Most of my stuff isn't in the prompter. Is his admission that he's been reading the prompter the whole time.
Censorship market. They lose their minds when a fact-checking website has ties to a right-leaning outlet. They can't have any of that. They're missing context, right? Freeing Twitter from the left. Hey, listen, that's nice. I bet you this is all going to be about Elon, right? But let's not lose focus.
Why does he keep why does he keep going back to that? Is that a problem on his show?
It's on the real fight. This is just the beginning. Elon and Twitter. They're real, quiet, powerful, big tech threats coming from everywhere, and they want nothing more than to silence you. We can't back off this fight because the left isn't going to back off.
No, we must seize the power back from Wikipedia.
Either.
Our concerns are not new.
This is the Ministry of Truth shit. They're panicking about this.
We've long talked about, and the president has long talked about his concerns about the power of social media platforms, including Twitter and others, to spread misinformation.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. We know. Folks, listen, let's update on this one. We're 15 months into the administration, and Joe Biden simply couldn't be doing any worse.
Actually, his numbers are going up. I want to say that. Hold on, Biden's numbers. Hold on one second. There's a Fox article that I was looking for. Is it on where I was on? I think I saw it on Ross. I want to see. Damn, I have to find it. Hold on. There was a Fox News pundit who was freaking out because Biden's. Let's see. Let's see if it comes out. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this came up. This was fun. I got to shrink it down a little bit for you guys. There we go. Hi, Raw Story. Excuse you. I'm just so mad. Fox News host throws a fit because Biden's wartime poll numbers are inching up. Fox News host Rachel Campos-Duffy on Sunday lashed out at Democrats who've noticed the President Joe Biden's poll numbers are on the rise as he handles the war in Ukraine. During a segment on Fox News about the Ukraine war, Campos-Duffy argued that Biden could have deployed more military resources before the conflict began, so that everybody could say he was ratcheting up and trying to start a war. Why didn't you act sooner? I say that because Democrats right now are very ecstatic over what they see poll numbers inching up for Joe Biden. CNN contributor Chris Cillizza said now there is an opportunity for a Biden comeback. They're looking at it as a political opportunity to somehow show this wartime president, we didn't need a wartime president. We got one because he was so weak. I'm sorry. I know you guys are focusing on all the troop movements, but I'm so mad we're in this situation. This is... let me see if I can blow this up. I'll just open it on
do
YouTube.
anything with Finland and other things. I'm still amazed at just how behind the ball. And you noticed yesterday, even in the call that Zelensky had with the senators, he's asking for help, but he still can't help himself from saying, why didn't you guys act sooner?
Yeah.
Why didn't you act sooner? And I say that because Democrats right now are very ecstatic over what they see as poll numbers inching up for Joe Biden. Yesterday, CNN's Chris Cillizza said there's now a possibility of a Biden comeback. They are really looking at what their failure, they're looking at it as a political opportunity to somehow show this wartime president. We didn't need a wartime president. We got one because he was so weak. And I'm sorry. I know you guys are focusing on all the troop movements. I'm just so mad that we're in this situation to begin with.
To your point, Zelensky...
They couldn't even cut to her. They're showing flaming pits rather than show her speak.
Apparently did chide Joe Biden about not putting economic sanctions on sooner.
Uh-huh. So he basically, he doesn't like it. Yeah.
Unless, of course, he was trying to screw up the country on purpose. Where have I heard that before? Someone emailed me, or listened to my radio show this week. They said, if Joe Biden were trying to destroy the United States, would he do anything different? I was trying to be objective for a moment, and I thought, if I were...
Dude is playing clips of himself.
...going to destroy the United States, would I do anything different than Joe Biden was doing now?
Well, yeah, you wouldn't pass an infrastructure bill. You just let the bridges collapse. You wouldn't pass a rescue package. That's for fucking sure, because that shored up and saved a bunch of businesses. You wouldn't get us out of Afghanistan. You'd let us burn $300 million a day there forever. You wouldn't lower the deficit. That's for fucking sure, because you'd want to drive the debt up to unmanageable levels. And you wouldn't support Ukraine in this battle because you would want Russia to steamroll over democracy in Europe. So, yeah, you would have to do a lot different.
Really?
Really?
That was a great question. If you were trying to destroy the country, would you do anything different? No. Come to think of it, I wouldn't. Seems like other outlets are also starting to take on...
Other outlets, yeah. Washington Examiner. Mm-hmm.
A good hard look at Joe Biden's apocalyptic
good hard look.
Performance as commander-in-chief, too. Let's get a little report card refresher, shall we?
Shall we?
What's gotten better here? Well,
jobs, the deficit are not being in Afghanistan anymore. Our infrastructure's on the mend. We're reshoring factories faster than any time in American history. We've got a good new... I mean, obviously, you're going to have an issue with the SCOTUS as it stands. Let's see. Yeah, so far, so good.
The economy, what about that?
Well, I mean, worldwide, we're actually doing way better. Gas is expensive, but it's cheaper than it is anywhere else in the industrialized world.
Actually, that's gotten worse.
Yeah, but consumer spending was up 0.7%.
GDP dropped 1.4% in the first quarter of 2022. Folks, that's disastrous. We're coming out of a pandemic. We should be high flying right now in the economy to let pent up demand. What about inflation? Nope.
Right. Let's see. 921, 322, up to 8%.
That's not getting any better either. It's headed in the wrong direction, Joe. Still a big
that's supply shock. Still doesn't have anything to do with monetary policy.
F on that one. How about immigration? Joe didn't even turn in his work. And by that, I mean he hasn't even been to the border. How can he fix the problem if he hasn't even seen the problem?
Oh my God. One whole person swimming?
Still a big fat F on that one. What about all that international? Remember this? The
guy swimming towards Constantina Wire. I thought the border was open.
International respect Joe was going to bring back to the White House. Yeah, hard pass on that one, too. Turns out both friends and foes around the
Biden says French President Macron didn't take his call, spoke with staff. Saudi UAE leaders are going to talk gas prices. Yeah, we know that because we don't want to talk. Kim Jong-un ghosts U.S. as Joe Biden's North Korea shakeup looms. Yeah, it's so sad we can't get Kim Jong-un on the phone. Hold on. But let me see the Macron thing. Biden says Macron didn't return and take phone call. Sorry. Take phone call. They bring this one up a lot. French President didn't come to the phone when he called declaring Ireland a landslide election. Biden said he spoke with the Macron staff instead of Sunday night. President partied in the Eiffel Tower, requiring the U.S. president to call back Monday. I feel good. Oh. Yeah, he just won't talk to him. It's obviously, this is probably left over. This is probably left over from the submarine deal with Australia, you think? You think if we read this article, Bongholio, you think this is going to get us to a point where it shows that the French are ready to join Russia in fighting the U.S.? Or President Biden said Monday that French President Emmanuel Macron didn't come to the phone when he called to congratulate him on his landslide re-election. Biden said he spoke with Macron's staff instead on Sunday night as the French president partied at the Eiffel Tower, requiring the U.S. president to call back on Monday. I feel good about the French election, Biden said as he returned to D.C. from a weekend trip home to Delaware. I tried to talk to him last night. I spoke to his staff, and he was at the Eiffel Tower having a good time, and I'm going to be talking to him today. President calls foreign leaders typically are arranged by White House staff to avoid unscripted or embarrassing moments for the leader of the world's sole superpower. Biden reached Macron on Monday before hosting the Stanley Cup championship winning Tampa Bay Lightning on the White House lawn. Biden spoke today with the President Emmanuel Macron of France to congratulate him on his re-election. He said in a statement, he underscored the close and enduring relations between the United States and France, our oldest ally, based on shared democratic values, economic ties, and security cooperation. The statement said President Biden conveyed his readiness to continue working closely with Macron on shared global priorities. Macron's victory was touted by Ryan Klain as the reasons the Democrats feel hopeful. Klain noted that Macron won despite a 36% approval rating versus Biden's 40% approval, but commentators pointed out the French generally give their presidents much lower marks in the polls than U.S. voters do. That's changing because of attitudes. It's not the first time. Let's see, reported that Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman didn't take too kindly to us giving him shit about killing Khashoggi. Boo fuckity who. Didn't take his call, spoke with. I love this. He's like, never going to speak to him again. It's terrible. Also, fuck the UAE and Kim Jong-un ghosts the U.S., please.
The world, like Macron, Putin, Kim Jong-un, and folks around the Middle East won't take his calls. That's another big F for Joe.
Why? Maybe they won't take his calls because he's not sufficiently sucking up to them. Maybe that's a plus. Maybe we should stop sucking up to assholes like that. And Macron did take his call. They did talk.
That's a lot of
He was busy partying on the Eiffel Tower.
F's. That's a scary report card. Listen, it's easy to joke about this stuff.
No, it isn't. I haven't seen a single joke. I've been very disappointed throughout the whole thing. I think my calling you Bongholio is the funniest part of this entire thing. Oh, and that part where I pointed out that you fucking lied about the date on one of the articles by 5 years.
It's not funny.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of funny.
Joe Biden's MIA when it comes to solving any of the real crises in the country right now.
Yeah.
And he and everyone else on the left don't even seem to care.
Hey, they don't. Oh, that's the edit. Don't even seem to care. Out. I'm out. I'm out.
Sean Hannity.
Hi, Sean Hannity. It's Hannity. Everybody, it's Hannity. It's Sean Hannity. I'm already over timer. Jesus. Today was fast. We didn't even get to this dickhead. Remember what I said this morning about anybody who says establishment or corporate when they're talking about people because it's a shorthand that these assholes use when they themselves are incorporated? This guy, by the way, is an established YouTube channel right here, and he's incorporated in multiple countries, no doubt. This is titled, we'll do this and then I got to bug off. So the establishment are shitting themselves. This is apparently on big tech. Jesus, this is 17 minutes. I don't want to get into this shit.
Wants more internet regulation of free speech. Everyone wants more internet regulation of free speech. Aren't you sat at home right now saying, won't someone please regulate my free speech so big tech can get on their job of taking all our money?
Or maybe we want less beheading videos, child porn, and other stuff, and we have to watch for that all the time. All right. He's going to do ads.
Voyage onwards. Isn't it complicated being alive? Isn't it difficult to hold differing, distinct, often opposing opinions? Isn't it all...
Why would you hold differing, distinct, opposing opinions? Oh, because you're selling bullshit to people. That's why.
Awkward and interesting to see people that you once thought were incredible joining the bandwagon of state-sponsored censorship.
Yeah, like you and Russia, for example.
For all but the most powerful voices in the world. Like, if you're me, and I am,
citation needed.
Remember when Barack Obama came to power thinking, this is brilliant. This charismatic, interesting politician who will surely have a vested interest in ordinary people of all races and advancing the interests of folk that exist outside of that centralized pyramid of power. Tech oligarchy, media, big business.
Oh, whatever.
State-sponsored corporatism. Barack Obama is the voice we need. We had a similar thing in our country. I'm from the UK. Tony Blair, when he came into power.
Yeah, totally. Those two guys are exactly the same. Yeah, when Tony Blair came in, I was like, he's basically Obama.
Well, this is going to be different. This is going to be new. This guy, oh no, he's just doing wars everywhere whenever he gets a chance. And the same with Barack Obama. It makes you think, doesn't it, that these systems...
No, it doesn't.
...cannot produce figures that will ultimately do anything other than represent the...
Jesus Christ, look at those edits. Watch this.
These systems cannot produce figures that will ultimately do anything other than represent the...
Fucking hell. Who did that fucking edit, man? Seriously, that's like you'd think acting schools would produce people that could speak better.
Interests of already powerful institutions, but that's just what I think. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, this is where you, yeah.
Bill, because I need to know that you know when I'm talking. I hate the idea that I may say something and you not listen to it. That makes a fella insecure, so as it does. Okay, let's get on.
He just told people to turn on the notifications because somebody told them that you got to do that.
On with this story. Barack Obama gave a speech at Stanford University.
By the way, all these assholes are getting really nervous that these activities are going to broom all the fake accounts off the internet. The biggest panic that they have is the troll farms get eliminated and then his numbers drop in half.
In which he advocated for more big tech control.
Is that what he did? He advocated for more big tech control. Let's hear it.
Our free speech. Let's get into it. In a recent speech delivered at Stanford
from Reclaim the Net
University, President Barack Obama called for more censorship of social media speech.
Is that what he said? He just said, I want more censorship of social media speech. Is that what he said? Is that how he worded it?
They're really pulling out the big guns now, aren't they, with the misinformation? Quick, get Obama out. We can't have creaky old fart-ass Joe. Joe, say that misinformation is a problem. Oh, the misinformation. Oh, no, I did a misinformation. Get Obama. Tony.
A little ageism. He's not above a little ageism. That's cool. You know. Why would he think that we're all, again, we're all equal, we're all the same, we're dealing with the complexities of life, but he's an old fucking geezer, fuck him, right?
Blair,
I mean, just because he was voted for by the biggest group of Americans in election history, I mean, fuck him, right?
These people that they consider are valuable, valid voices in this discourse.
Oh, good Lord. Hold on one second. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. 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 This'll work. Sorry, you were saying?
Discourse, for me, are the voices that create the doubt, the criticism, the cynicism, the downright skepticism about...
Yeah, it's basically all Obama's fault. You know what I mean? I mean, we could have skipped all this if we'd gone straight from George Bush right to Trump. You know, because it's the cynicism that I think is the problem.
Everything that goes on in this conversation.
Yeah.
Because we've seen the decisions that they made.
Yeah, we've seen it. Creating the ACA, getting 24 million people insurance, you know, the best thing it could do because they didn't actually have the votes for the ACA with the single payer in it, but they went ahead anyways and got some good done. Of course, lowered the number of civilian deaths. But I mean, honestly, what difference does it make? They're just fucking Iraqis.
We can review the Obama administration now. We know what was promised and we know what happened. We can't say, oh no, but remember 2008, oh, it was so good. Shepard Fairey did those amazing posters. Let's get into it. I think that they're concerned about the emergence of new platforms.
That's what they're worried about. Yeah, they're worried about these channels. You know what I mean? Like bot elevated bullshit channels put up by people to basically just drive people away from voting by saying, you know, there's really no difference. You know, anytime you get your hopes up, get ready to have them dashed. You know, incremental change is all bullshit, kids. Trust me, I live in a monarchy.
Elon Musk has taken over Twitter. Platforms like Rumble have emerged now.
Oh, yeah, Rumble. Oh, I love Rumble. Yeah, it's great. It's like YouTube, only harder to watch and more narrow in its view.
Now, where free speech is a priority.
Is that what it is? Did you have that tattooed on your bum?
Time to drag Obama out of retirement. Quick, people might still remember you positively. Free speech, I think...
I do. I'll remember him positively. First black American president. Decent fella.
Is a fundamental principle.
He was, I think when he was president, you were making jokes about anal sex with groupies while both of you were on drugs. So many drugs, apparently, that the women couldn't even consent, I think. Right? You make jokes about that neither one of you were in any shape to say yes.
Free speech should be used responsibly. We shouldn't...
Well, I don't know about that. If it's used responsibly, is it really free?
Be unkind and cruel to each other. We should be discerning about lies and what they call misinformation.
Yeah, what they call misinformation. We should be discerning about what they call it, not about the misinformation itself, but we should discern whether they call it that.
But you've got to be aware by now that the biggest threat to your freedom is not you. It's
no, of course not. I let me do anything.
Centralized state authority.
Right, like the Chinese government, or in many ways monarchies, or the Russian government, as opposed to the United States government, which is decentralized and has several layers, including the judiciary, the legislative, and the executive, who all have to work in concert to put forth laws and rules and can be voted out if they lose the consent of the governed over time, unlike a monarchy or, you know, any kind of royal family. Fuck you.
You might do some misinformation. Someone else might do some misinformation. Yeah, I'm also a little tiny bit concerned about the state itself and its relations with corporations and big media.
Oh, that was a cut. It's a lot of editing in this, boy.
Couldn't that create any problems? Oh, no, don't worry about that.
You know, I think you might want to start adding a second camera if you're going to have all these shot cuts.
If we just keep giving them more and more power, everything will be all right for you in your life. Just observe the trends. He argued that without regulation, social media will have frightening implications.
Well, yeah, like child porn, beheading videos, ISIS having accounts. I mean, I know you're for that, Russell. I know that's your kind of thing. I mean, after what you've been through in life, I'd imagine it's very difficult to get an erection anymore.
People are dying because of misinformation.
Yeah.
Obama said. That's a bit of a vague sentence to come out with. People are dying of misinformation.
Well, I think he's talking about like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. I think that's what he's directly talking about. But you know what? You're reading his words from another article that's already characterized what he fucking said, instead of watching what he actually says and characterizing it for your fucking self. What do you think that the odds are that this speech is actually available online and you could go fucking look it up, couldn't you?
Misinformation is subjective in lots of areas, isn't it?
Well, then get around the subjective part because you're actually reading it through a secondary subjective source, you prat.
Whose misinformation?
Oh, well, definitely your editors.
Misinformation
Jesus Christ, stop with the cuts. I'm going to get epilepsy.
Usually means, customarily, and certainly these days means, we want to censor particular aspects of the debate. That's what...
Bullshit. Misinformation means... First of all, you're talking about the removal of disinformation. Disinformation is active. Misinformation is a fucking accident. You're misinformed. You happen to think that squirting horse paste up your fucking bum will save you from cancer. Well, it fucking well won't. And no matter how many times you've read it on a goddamn QAnon Reddit thread. So that's why they push back against it. They got scientists come on and go, don't squirt horse paste up your ass, you bastard.
What the powerful have always offered. We'll keep you safe, give us your money through taxes, and...
What are you talking about? You're talking about big tech, fucko. Give us your money through taxes. What are you talking... What? Is there a version of government that doesn't fucking tax you? That exists on the fucking planet right now? Even in China.
Do as you're told. There's nothing new going on here.
There's a lot going on new. That's why it's big tech and not big rock and wooden stake.
That's the traditional...
It's big freight train, big coal shovel.
Relationship between the sovereign and the governed.
It's totally a big difference, you know, because the sovereign are up here. Well, we don't have a sovereign because we're a fucking democracy over here. I'm an American. I know I don't sound like it, but trust me.
The irony is saying people are dying because of misinformation is in itself misinformation.
No, it isn't. He's talking about hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin and people not getting fucking vaccinated. He's talking about specifically during the Delta wave, you bastard.
Because it's a reductive simplification full of biases in...
Fuck you! You're reading a reductive simplification, fucko. Get Obama's statement and do your own fucking take on it. This asshole's literally reading someone else's fucking take.
Intended to direct you to a certain set of decisions.
Which is what that article is. You are digesting someone has fucking barfed this into your mouth like a fucking mother bird.
And also to enhance the power of already powerful big tech groups.
Oh, you mean like the website Reclaim the Net that believes that this is how things are and just wants to... By the way, they got a lovely logo. I like it. It's not fascist or creepy at all. Obama continued to say that the profound change that's taken place in how we communicate and consume information is one of the greatest threats to democracy. Oh, it's weird. Is that how he said it? Is that what they said? Look at that. Is one of the great... And I don't know. Why does the quote end there? One would think this would be the part. Is that what he said? Is that how he said it? Gee, I wonder.
Obama continued to say that the profound change that's taken place in how we communicate and consume information is one of the greatest threats to democracy. Bloody hell.
Yeah, bloody hell. I can't believe he said that when he didn't say it.
Democracy ain't in great shape.
Yeah, coming from an asshole who doesn't think it should exist, who lives under a monarchy. Go fuck yourself.
I tell you, and it's not been in great shape for a long while. Democracy is not like, hey, well, we've got democracy, but by God, it's under siege. Democracy is a total mess. Lobbying.
Yeah, what? I mean, do you even like it? Who the fuck wants democracy? This is what happens when you get... I mean, you'd be better off with kind of a fiefdom and serfdom.
Congress people investing in stocks of companies that they regulate. The corruption is mental. It's endemic. It's out of control.
No, it's not. And yet it still functions.
Control is catastrophic. It's not, look, we've got democracy. It's all right. Just don't say nothing mad on the internet about Russia. We're just holding on to it. It's a catastrophe.
Yes, democracy is a catastrophe. Great. From the asshole who lives under a monarchy. What he's basically saying, ladies and gentlemen, if I may paraphrase him the way that he's paraphrasing Obama, is that the whole fighting of the Revolutionary War was for naught. We would have been better off staying under the king.
It needs radical redressing. We're not talking about reform and preservation and conservation anymore. We're talking about what kind of radical changes are we going to undertake now in order to save the planet, to save ourselves and save our souls.
Right. And I'm sorry, what non-democratic society on the planet is even having that fucking conversation for real? Please tell me about recycling in China.
And if people aren't giving you that, they're giving you misinformation.
What? I don't even know what the fuck you said.
Social media platforms aren't just our window to the internet, they serve as our primary source of news and information. No one tells us that the window is blurred, subject to unseen distortions and subtle manipulations. We do, we tell you that all the time.
Yeah, you're one of them.
We tell you that every single day.
Yeah, but it's not so subtle. I mean, I'll basically, you know what you said? I'll read what someone said you said instead of reading what you said, and then I'll tell people what you meant by what you said when I read it from someone who said what you said. See? That's not blurry. That's not misinformation. It's sort of like the unvarnished truth because I've shaved it down and turned it into a pile of wood.
It's happening right now. Obama said that social media companies need to be regulated, including being held responsible for content posted by users. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Right, make social media companies responsible.
Is that what he said? Is that the exact quote? There weren't quotes around that part. Any of it. Not even maybe the and. Did he say the and? Did he say social media in... Like, he might have said media and social in the opposite direction. You could just put quotes and put them back, and put a little asterisk. Tell me later.
Right now, I am up for regulation of big businesses generally.
As long as it doesn't fuck with how I make money, which of course is these troll farms in Macedonia flood me with Saudi money, and that keeps us afloat right here. And I can pretend that I'm, just speaking my own truth.
The incredible ability to generate profits, the ability to not pay tax, the ability to obfuscate and mask their actions and intentions.
The ability to pay $800 for a shawl made of burlap just so you can complete your Jesus costume.
But what this is talking about is the ability to control the public sphere, the ability to control the public conversation, the ability to crush...
He was actually having this conversation in public.
...dissent. That's what this is.
Is it? Is it?
It's not about helping you.
No, it's not. Are you sure? Are you certain? Are you talking about what he actually said? Are you talking about what somebody said he actually said? Or are you translating what somebody said he said?
This is about preventing you participating as an autonomous, free individual in the conversation about your lives and your culture. Why don't they point out that big tech also harvests and controls your data, steals your data, and in collaboration with the government...
Yeah, do you like that? If you don't, leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so I can capture your analytics. And also thumbs up and you can join our membership thing. And go to my other site where I'll teach you to meditation exercises to get rid of the anxiety that I've given you. And also sign up for our newsletter because I don't sell the services that are in it. The company that I do my newsletter through does that. And then I get a kickback.
Seeks to modulate and control your behavior. No one's seeking to control that aspect of big tech.
No, it seems like that's part of the conversation.
That's the profitable aspect of big tech, where big tech gets to steal from you, give to the government. It's been proven, it's been demonstrated.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You know what I mean?
It's been shown again and again.
Oh yeah, Parler, Gab, Getter. I've seen it all. Yeah. Truth Social, selling everything about you.
No one's interested in that. Where's that speech?
Yeah, where is it? Where's that speech? I mean, it's been had, but it's not in this paper, right?
If we do nothing, I'm convinced that the trends we are seeing will get worse, he said. Without some standards, the implications of this technology for our elections, for our legal system, for our democracy, which I want to control absolutely, and I don't...
Yeah, Obama's always been a hyper-authoritarian. It must be that whole grown-up black in Chicago thing. You know what I mean? It turns them into, like, tyrants. It's weird. I mean, how do they avoid it?
When any dissent in for rules of evidence for our entire social order are frightening and profound. Wouldn't you feel a lot more confident?
No, I would feel more confident if you finish reading, because there's no quote end on that. And I need to know whether or not you're finishing a quote or you're interrupting it in the center, or if it's no longer a quote.
In Barack Obama, if he went out and goes, listen, I know we've done all sorts of shady stuff. You only need to look at what's happening with Assange right now. The dude's going to be extradited. Snowden's.
Who? Assange? I don't know who Assange is. And I'm sorry, who? Who? You mean Assange?
And all sorts of shady stuff. You only need to look at what's happening with Assange right now.
Yeah, Assange. I mean, sure, there's a shit ton of edits in this, but why take that out? Assange. What about Snowden?
Now the dude's going to be extradited. Snowden's still banged up in Russia.
Is he still banged up in Russia? Is he banged up? Oh, shit. Are you getting some... Russell, are you getting some inside information? Has Snowden been beaten and jailed? It sounds like you know a little more. You got an inside track in Russia, do you? He's banged up in Russia. Well, how'd he get there? Oh, right. Glenn Greenwald and those bastards dropped him off. And he hasn't tweeted since fucking February. It's May 2nd, you bastard.
Simply for revealing the true nature of government power and our...
Is that why? Is that why he's there? Just he just revealed the true nature? Is that what he did? Because he had 2 other fucking laptops with the actual code that he went straight to China and then to Russia with. And he's been living there ever since. Nobody knows what the fuck's happened to him since, because apparently he's not against he's not for the Ukraine invasion, and so he's just fucking vanished. And his last tweet was really fucked up. I don't know if you've seen this, Russell. I don't know if you've seen this. Perhaps he has. Let's find out. I don't know. I'm going to look up something for you, Russell. I think you're going to like it. I think so. Let's see. Snowden. Maybe he's tweeted since. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe today's the day. Perhaps. Who can say? Where is he? That's the thing. That's the... Where is he? April 27th. Let's go. Snowden is in Russia. Has not tweeted since... There we go. Where'd he go? Just in. Snowden in China have launched Zcash. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Where's his account? Why is his account's just not on anymore? What's happening? Let's see. There we go. Let's see. There you go. Here he is. Here's his Twitter feed. Still on. Hasn't been kicked off. That's nice. Isn't that nice? Look at that. There's his last tweet. What does it say? I'm not suspended from the ceiling above a barrel of acid by a rope that burns a little faster every time I tweet, you concerned trolling ghouls. I've just lost any confidence that I had sharing my thinking on this particular topic continues to be useful because I called it wrong. I called it wrong. The last one before that, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Putin, I guess it's like this. Putin begins his address to the nation regarding his decisions on Donbas. He retweeted that, and then he tweeted, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And then he didn't tweet for 6 fucking days. There you go. Free press can only be good or bad. Without freedom of the press will never be anything but bad. As someone called worse things by bigger names, lawsuits against newspapers over hurt feelings, even false claims are not the answer. We won't fix people with harm. So it's just like rando stored tweet that he'd written about Rittenhouse. And then, police officer stopped me this morning in my hotel. This is Scott Olsen in Ottawa. It was about the truckers, right? He was writing about the trucker convoys. And then Kent State, and then he's gone. I got it wrong. He got it so wrong. What did he get wrong? It's pretty cryptic, wouldn't you say there, Russell?
Liaison with big tech companies. Furthermore, it's pretty clear that stuff did go on with that Hunter Biden laptop.
Oh, it's interesting that he checked over to his left. That's weird. What are you looking at there, Russell?
Companies.
Don't forget to mention Hunter Biden's laptop. There's somebody standing right over where I am going, don't forget to mention the Hunter Biden laptop.
Furthermore, it's pretty clear that stuff did go on with that Hunter Biden.
Yeah, furthermore, Hunter Biden laptop. Okay.
Laptop, and we weren't entirely transparent about that.
Oh, yeah? You know, it is transparent. The Hunter Biden laptop. because nobody can fucking see it. It's like fucking Wonder Woman's airplane.
A little bit of misinformation went on there. I'm also concerned, though, about your health. Because then immediately I might start listening because there's some transparency, there's some accountability, some openness, rather than just trotting out a respected statesman and former official who, in my opinion, squandered that moment of hope and
did he?
Change by simply doing what people in that position have always done, bailing out big banks, going to war in countries that may or may not have resources, and then...
Is that what he did? Going to war in countries that may or may not have resources? Well, do they? I guess is part of the question. But secondarily, you mean not getting us out because he didn't go in?
Turning up 10, 15 years later to offer us more of the same.
10, 15 years later?
And saying it's for our benefit. We've already seen what it looks like when this dude's in charge. Tech platforms need to accept that they play a unique role in how we as a people and people around the world are consuming.
Oh, so that part you were reading before wasn't part of a quote. I see.
Information, and that their decisions have an impact on every aspect of society. With that power comes accountability. Yeah.
Right, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, indeed. And in democracies like ours, at least the need for some democratic oversight.
Yeah, democratic oversight.
Obama singled out former Trump advisor Steve Bannon and Russia's President Vladimir Putin as people who have leveraged misinformation. I'm not saying that Trump or Bannon or Putin are great guys, but I'm saying that their check's clear and that's all that matters. Would accept critiques of those individuals more heartily and readily from someone that was willing to be open and transparent and indeed accountable about their own shortcomings, about their own evident failings. And unless this report didn't include...
Why the fuck? Didn't include what? Didn't include what? Parts of where Obama said nobody's perfect or something like that, right? We all have shortcomings, some shit like that. Is that what happened? You bastard. Hold on, back up.
About their own shortcomings, about their own evident failings. And unless this report didn't include it, and I didn't do my research...
Okay, I'm fucking done. Like, we know he didn't watch the fucking video. We know he didn't read the whole fucking speech. They handed him an article. He's reacting to it. And he couldn't give a fuck. And he's like, I don't think Steve Bannon, Putin, and Donald Trump are good guys. I'm not here to... Well, he didn't say that. He said, I'm not here to defend them. But Obama better come clean about what a shitty president he is. Or why should I listen to him about Steve fucking Bannon? Good fucking Lord. Bye. It just gets dull after a while. Like it's one of those videos that should be 8 minutes long with all the goddamn edits. That's 17 minutes. I don't care. And nothing was taken out of context for the record. I just bailed out because it was boring. I went over tonight anyways by a half hour. So point of privilege, Your Honor. And I've still got a shelf to finish building. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. I don't have a morning show tomorrow. I go to the gym on Tuesdays. And I will see you guys later on. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Support the show in any way that you can. Maybe, consider becoming look, my camera gets knocked. I have to tighten the thing on there. See that little crack over there? I'll fix it. There we go. I gotta tighten that thing up. Right. I modified it. I lowered the camera and did some stuff and it feels better, but I've still got work to do. But in the process, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much. There were 666 people in the chat, so please consider giving $6.66 as a super chat. If you're watching this later, there's a little like gift button, I think now, that you can give and support the show that way if you're not around or whatever. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon. And remember, if anybody is telling you not to vote, they don't have your best interests at heart. They're trying to destroy you. Period. End of story. Please don't eat and broadcast. I love your show, but I'm sorry. I had to eat something. I was running late. I apologize. Okay, bye. 982. We need more people. Just subs. More subs. Please sub. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.